Hope everyone had a nice 4th of July.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Welcome to the Mount Vernon City School District July 16th School Board meeting. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Roll call.
Trustee McDonough? Here. Trustee Maribel?
Present.
Trustee Mitchell? Here. Trustee Middleton? Trustee Njenga? Here. Trustee White? Present. Trustee Kerwin?
Here.
VP Kelly? Here. And President Saunders? Here. President Saunders?
Oh, here.
Hi. We have our quorum.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have.
Oh, you want me to go on?
Yeah, please. I'm updating.
There is no legal requirement to recognize public comment at meetings of the Board of Education. However, the board recognizes the critical importance of community discourse and involvement in the education of Mount Vernon's children, and accordingly, members of the public are invited to speak at each regularly scheduled board meeting, subject to the terms of the board policy. Please state your name, address, and the organization, if any, you represent. A speaker must register in advance by no later than 4 p.m. the day of the meeting by contacting the district clerk in person at 165 North Columbus Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York, by phone at 914-665-5235, or by email. The board welcomes all respectful comments, whether praise or criticism. However, identifying and criticizing a specific student, parent, teacher, administrator, other Mount Vernon education official, or employee is strictly prohibited. Any such complaint must be presented and addressed through the proper administrative channels. Each speaker is allowed 3 minutes to speak. Up to 1 additional minute may be used for the speaker to summarize and conclude their remarks. If appropriate, board trustees and/or the superintendent or other staff members at the direction of the superintendent may immediately respond to a speaker's remarks. Our first speaker tonight is Vernon James. Vernon James. Erica Peterson.
First, shout out to all the orange I'm seeing. Lots of orange tonight. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, thank you. I'm tall. That's perfect. Thank you. Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Erica Peterson, and I live here in Mount Vernon. I hope everyone has been enjoying their summer. I would like to first extend my deepest condolences to Board Trustee Dr. Maribel on the loss of a dear loved one. You're definitely in my prayers. I'm here today to discuss a few things. Yesterday, I was informed that several security officers at Mount Vernon High School were given building coverage assignments for the summer. They were then told that their services would no longer be needed for the summer months. They received their assignments back on June 21st, and now here we are a month later, and they were informed that guards not assigned to a specific program could no longer work because no resolution was put through to the board to approve them working. I find this unacceptable because the Assistant Superintendent of Buildings and Grounds made sure that his title change went through in the last meeting, but didn't make sure that the men and women who work as safety officers' work assignments were put through. The same men and women who are grossly underpaid and who have no contract because they are in the same boat as our teachers who still have no contract. Now they are without income for the summer. Can this please be addressed? On another note, board docs. Over the past year and a half, I have noticed many inconsistencies about what is being placed on board docs for the public to view. Many times, contracts are voted on by the board, and the public has no view of it on our end of board docs. There are many times that the employee contracts are not attached where they should be, or like tonight, it's lacking the salary amount. If you are extending or renewing employee contracts, then it should be available on board docs, along with a complete contract that lists their salary amount. You all are public employees and elected officials using our public funds, and taxpayers have the right to view and see what our money is being spent on consistently, not whenever you feel like attaching it to board docs. It's giving the appearance that the board and superintendent are purposely withholding public information. And on another note, I just noticed that the comment section on social media has been disabled while meetings are taking place. The PTA Council reached out to the board for further clarification because we know that many times parents and community members rely on the comment section to get answers to various questions that they may have or voice their frustration about things. The reply that Board President Saunders gave the PTA Council executive member was that the comments were inappropriate and hurtful. Well, I read through the meeting's comments, and I didn't see any inappropriate comments. I did see people leaving the link for the New York State Education Department for parents to send complaints they have to about this district. I did see parents like myself asking when the summer sped services would start for our children. And I also saw many people upset that Board President Saunders was reelected as president again. Then when many of us reached out to all different board members, they had no clue that the decision to disable comments on social media even was decided upon. So the question is then, who actually decided this? Because it's strange. Speaking on that topic, according to the United States Department of Justice, the definition of abuse of power is the misuse of power to take unjust advantage of individuals, organizations like a school district, or governments. It is described as a white-collar crime, economic crime, organizational crime, public corruption, and organized crime or deviance. The common element of this crime is deceit. Deceit is the practice of concealing or misrepresenting the truth. From 2015 to 2017, this board president served as president of the board. From 2016 to 2017, she served as vice president. From 2017 to 2018, she served as president. From 2019 to 2020, she served as vice president. From 2021 to 2022, she served as president. 2022 to 2023, she served as president again. And now from 2024 to 2025, she will serve as president again. The only time abusers will change is when you demand that they give up the luxury of exploitation, because when there is oppression and dictatorship in a community and no one speaks out against it or brings it to the forefront, then exploitation will continue year after year, or in this case, it may skip a year and then come back. Good night.
Brenda Miles.
Okay, thank you.
Can you hold it at the same time?
1 second. Okay, mine is just one quick question. I'm Brenda Miles. I live here in Mount Vernon. Okay, let me see if I can read my own handwriting. Is the investigation with the superintendent due to negligence as a contractor or educator? There are two different roles, one as an educator and one as a contractor pertaining to bids and disbursements of funds. If she is being investigated as a contractor, then she should no longer be paid as an educator on leave. That's my question.
Cynthia Crenshaw.
Okay, it's not on, I don't think. It's on? Okay, Cynthia Crenshaw, Mount Vernon resident. The question I had when I was here a couple of weeks ago, there was not supposed to be any raises for these title changes. Whatever happened to that? And with the raises, since you gave the raises anyway, what percentage was it, and what is the dollar amount for these people that got raises? And my second thing is, how can one person stop people from giving their opinion about this board? What happened to freedom of speech? If people talk about the President of the United States, elected officials, what's next? Will you have security refuse me entrance in this building if I don't speak positive about you? According to social media, this board is 1,000 miles apart. You are not working together for the better of the citizens of Mount Vernon. And I can't wait to hear the reason that this lawyer, who went above and beyond everybody in this district with less than a year to get a $10,000 raise with less than a year. And I didn't see his contract on board docs. And just to let you know, a petition is being generated to request the state to come in to review the board. They're also anticipating having Channel 12 come out and have the news people outside, and we'll be outside because this board is not right. You came to the black clergy meeting saying you wanted to be transparent, you wanted us to believe in you, and all that went out of the window. There wasn't supposed to be no raises until the teachers got their raise. I want to know what's the percentage of raises that these people got, what was the dollar amount, and I heard even some of your cabinets did not get a raise. So what you doing, are you paying favoritism? And as far as social media, we have a right to speak about this board, and one person, according to social media, tried to shut this down, the president of this board. And if it's a lie, go on social media and see it, because it's all over the place. We should be able to speak to you because people elected you. Stop playing with the citizens. Why do you want the state to come in here and investigate you? Because the people that you're supposed to be serving is signing a petition to ask them to come and investigate what's going on. Mount Vernon already does not look good to the rest of Westchester. So let's try to stop this nonsense, work together, give the teachers the raise, and I really want to know with these title changes what percentage they got, what was the dollar amount, and how did this lawyer go over everybody above and beyond to get a $10,000 raise? I want to know. Not I. Everybody want to know.
Vernon James.
My apologies, council people and audience, and I agree with you. I'm here on this matter here. In 1994, I was a substitute teacher at then Franklin Middle School. While teaching a social studies lesson on archaeology and the tools of an archaeologist, we talked about time capsules. Those students asked me, Ms. James, can we bury a time capsule? The then Principal Alfonso Grimes, he said, yes, you know, if I thought of it when I was teaching, these would be those children. Well, these are those children. The children that you serve today are now the parents of the children that you serve. The people that are in the Dole Center are the grandparents of the children that you serve. There was a historical time capsule that was buried on Franco ground, October 14th, 1994. And I've come to Superintendent Smith with the idea, and I've gone to the library with the idea, I've gone to the mayor's with the idea, and I wasn't able to print out what I had to show you exactly what I would do for the 8 weeks. For the 8 weeks, I would have PD for everyone because we have 105,000. You talk about having something as a community building because, yeah, there's a lot of bad press here. I've been in Mount Vernon for 50 years. I don't understand why now our teachers make less than city teachers. Because when I went into the field, Mount Vernon was making $10,000 more when you stepped onto the scene than New York City. So I don't understand why there's $30,000 less. But this is a community building activity. I want to involve the business people, the people that work here, and if we do it, think of what will happen. A community building activity. Each department pays their share. You have Title I money that does PD, that does professional development. You have Title II money. You have 16 buildings. I looked at the budget. I don't know what you have planned for those times, but those could be ways that you could fund it. I don't know what your budget for a plan like that is, and I'm sorry I was not able to Xerox off what it would entail, what we would do. I know I don't get an answer. It's strange not getting an answer where you pose a question, but I'll give you a little, I'll pass this around. You know when you have money and the money is printed incorrectly, they put the wrong school on this, Albanus. So I've already been in contact with our executive, county executive, George Latimer's office, and they know that this is happening also. Everyone seems to be on board. Could you pass this around? Oh, I have to actually go around? Oh, my time?
You can pass it to him.
I'm just going to do that. Need replacement. I had copied some of the children's letters. I have a list of this, you'll get it. So this is what's buried in the time capsule on what is now Mount Vernon leadership.
So, Ms. James, I believe you reached out to Dr. Smith.
Right, I'm just letting you know because it is in the works.
So, yeah, I think they're going to reach out to you and work out some dates, okay?
Okay, we have a date with the mayor. The mayor is going to be there on October 18th, the Friday, so we have a date. We were just looking for.
I don't know what their
Just updating
schedule
the
is, but
committee.
that's something that Dr. Smith and
I gave
Ms.
Ms.
Kerwin.
Ms. James, I told her I would meet with her in September.
Okay.
Right, you did. Things that have to be done during the summer, and that's all, we're just keeping you abreast. And I was just introducing myself to the committee.
Thank you, Ms.
because I
James.
didn't do it before.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you still want to take, so, want to go this way?
And that ends public comments. Reports of the superintendent?
Dr. Smith, can I just reply to a statement regarding Facebook? I want to let the public know that it was me. I just want to let the public know that I approved the taking down of Facebook prior to letting my other board colleagues know. I talked to everybody besides Trustee Mitchell, who didn't answer his phone. Every time we have a meeting, we have our IT person go on and delete comments, derogatory comments, and people applying for jobs and people running for office on Facebook. So we have so we took it down. And I spoke to, like I said, I spoke to all the board members, and they were in agreement. We have no authority to manage Facebook. That's not our platform. So what we are doing is we're going to use a platform funded by BOCES that costs nothing, where community members can go on and make comments, leave messages, do whatever they need to do. That way we have a control over that. We have no control over Facebook. Facebook is not our platform. That's not owned by us. So we're going to discuss that in executive session. Dr. Marable did mention that the community would like to at least see the Facebook post live but not be able to make comments. That's something that she's going to dig into a little further. So until then, we'll keep you posted. But right now, Facebook's is going to be down. Thank you. So, Superintendent.
Good evening, all. I don't really have a superintendent report, so I want to go straight to old business. You know that's where I answer questions, and it may seem a little late, but I'm glad that you are bearing with me. I had 7 questions on July 2nd. How long will the superintendent under investigation be paid? I am unable to answer this question without violating privacy rights. How long is the investigation expected to last? The investigation has concluded. How many times may a board member be voted as a board president? Presently, there are no term limitations. Is there any money involved with the title changes? No increase was to any of those title changes. The staff did not receive increases. BOCES dropped from 13,000 last year to 8,000 this year. Why is that? The code was reduced due to an estimated decrease in services needed in that area. Overtime for superintendent and team from 1,000 last year, now 10,000. Why is that? The overtime code for the chief school administrator decreased from 1,000 to 3,000 last year to 2,000 this year. Buildings have 8,000, 10,000, 12,000 going to furniture. Did you talk to the principals? An email was sent from the business office to all building principals and secretary with their budgets for the 24-25 school year on 6/24/24, which included the furniture budget. Thank you.
Can we go back to committee reports?
I don't know if anyone has done anything as far as committees reports or any committees, but I'll go around the, Dr. Marable?
None of the committees that I'm on have met. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Middleton? Okay. Njenga?
No, we have a security meeting next week, Thursday.
Okay. Trustee Kerwin?
No, not yet.
Okay. Trustee McDonough?
Yeah, sorry about that. No, there is an IDA meeting scheduled for August 8th that I plan to attend.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Mitchell?
Yeah, the security meeting is happening next week. We did get a brief from Mike Ragusa and Matt, of course, along with Mark Ramundi regarding some things. Work is still going on through the summer in different buildings in light of summer school in certain buildings and programs. But I guess my question is, and I don't see Mike here, but how are we going to fare with timing that all repairs and things like that we had scheduled for all our buildings, they're going to be ready to go and open up in September for day one? Are we going to, because I know changes have been happening. I know something's going on at Grimes that really was not supposed to happen. I think that's might be changing the timing on the flooring or something there. Are we going to be up to date, ready to go when school opens up September? As of right now, because we'll talk about this again.
So that will be discussed when we have our committee meeting, because there's all these different moving parts. So I want to be able to report accurately. So that'll be brought up next week in the meeting.
Is that, so we, I haven't seen that we have a meeting yet.
The
on
meeting
calendar.
hasn't been scheduled yet. It'll be either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday next week. We
So
have
it's
to just work out
Wednesday,
some
Thursday,
calendar.
or Friday, not just Thursday. All right, so is it going to be a buildings and grounds and security, like back to back, like we normally do it?
If the schedule permits, yes.
All right, I'll try to make myself available. So I'm going to just bring up one topic. It was brought to my attention. So a lot of folks in the city don't know that the school district provides the meals to the off-site city sites that have summer programs. So there was something shared with me that showed what was supposed to be a parent, a student, but student had tattoos and a wedding ring. But in any event, it was a salad which came from the school district, and it had one piece of burnt broccoli, one piece of burnt cauliflower, mozzarella cheese. And people didn't realize that the school district, among the things that they do during the school year also is provide the meals for those programs off-site like YCOP and Dole Center. Once it was brought to my attention, I immediately went over to where that meals come from and asked if I could come in and talk to our food service manager. And we immediately started working on making sure it doesn't happen again. It's something that we've been working on to tighten up. I shared my report with the trustees this evening, about 45 minutes before we arrived, so I think I need time to digest that. And it talks to a lot of different things going on with the food service company that we've been using for the past school year and are still continuing to use this school year. And the things that we're trying to chase and tighten up on, and really how things work, because not everybody's aware of how things work as far as with the food service company and us being a district and things like that. Also, Trustee Saunders, my phone number hasn't changed in 24 years. You just called me for the first time yesterday. I have no other historic
So you know
call
I
from
called
you.
you.
But that's all I have today. Thank you. And that was yesterday. I think you did that like last week with the commentary. So, but thank you.
You're welcome. Trustee White.
Real quick, was there a question attached with that, the food service with the Dole Center?
No, there was no. That was
Okay. I just want to make sure I answered it.
Service committee, so I mentioned it. So
Trustee Mitchell,
Thank you.
who else is on the food service committee with you?
just me.
Just you? Okay, all right.
Wellness committee.
Okay.
Mr. Ramundi, can you, like, speak to what he just spoke about? Like, how come, what happened with the food? Why was it like that?
So we had a discussion when it was. We had a discussion. It was brought to our attention. I spoke to the higher ups at the food service company, and we're working with our food service manager and the district and them to address those issues and ensure that all quality is delivered to in-district and out-of-district programs, because we put our name on it.
So we discussed quality control. That's what was the communication, right?
Correct.
This is not about blowing whistles. This is about, listen, this is what happened. We're working to make it not happen again. It cannot be found and seen, and that we're delivering and serving like this, and when we continue on and it doesn't get talked about or solved. So this is something that I'm going to be following up on as well. So if you read the report that I sent this evening, you'll see a lot of different what's going on, data is in there, and we can talk about it at any meeting that you'd like to have.
Correct. So we're acutely aware of all the issues with all facets of departments, and we're working with them to correct them and move forward.
You know, food service, we've had at least 3 or 4 of them. And they start off giving us the best, and mid-year we go straight downhill with them.
Yep.
We have to find a company that's gonna give us the best from the beginning to the end of the school year. And,
Is that because it's lowest bid?
we were up there with, I know we were bidding at one time, I don't know about right now, but we were bidding at one time, because Scarsdale was using the same, and we were, trying to get the same quality of food as Scarsdale was, so, I was on that committee that's a while ago. But we just have to work on it and make sure they stop handing us crap. All
So-
kids crap.
And I'm gonna piggyback off of the Trustee White, absolutely. And I honestly we've been leading a discussion. We had a discussion introducing the idea that this district return into a self-operating district. In other words, meaning we are the ones in control. The district employees are the ones who are handling the food services. They're the ones. This is not something that's not done. One of our neighboring school districts just completely left the company that we're still dealing with now because they decided to go self-op. I recently had in May, we had a sit down, and I said, I want the menu that Dobbs Ferry has. I want the menu that one of the other districts that Aramark serves. I want our menu to match. I want to see what's available. So yes, and because we keep getting these companies that come in at the lowest bid, remember, the money that goes to these food service companies has nothing to do with taxes. That money comes from the state, okay? So when there's comments made, and I saw a comment that was made, and it seemed to link taxes to hiring food service programs. There's no link at all, because the food service money comes from the state based on reimbursable meals that we submit. So us moving forward, we'll find that we've been with 1, 2, this is the 3rd one that I know of since I've been on this board since 2019, we're 1 year off. We need to think about looking at self-op. That's what I've been saying now since March, I think, or April.
So when you do that, could you please tell us why the district went to
an outside vendor and what the agreement was to make sure we had the quality of services that was supposed to be provided to us. Do we not have somebody who's a representative for the district who's supposed to be doing quality control?
So, yeah, so which was the question? I'm sorry.
So,
I'm
if
sorry.
we do, so, we would need a presentation as trustees to understand the depth of what trustee Mitchell is saying from our food service people. So I would like to know, when our district, I guess it'll be historical information, decided not to do in-house, right? Not to serve food, I mean, we have beautiful kitchens, I know that, but what happened? That they don't cook the food within the district. I know we have nutritionists. Why, right? And then we have a quality control person within the district that works for the district, right? And so the next question is, why wasn't this brought to the attention of the superintendent? Did the cabinet know about it? Is that part of it? So
It
that
was
would be
brought.
part of the.
It was brought, so.
Okay, so we need that to be part of a presentation to the
The food
board.
service manager that we have has been consistent in making it clear that there have been issues since her hiring in February. Her first presentation, if you look at my email, my presentation, she's been calling out what's been going wrong since her first month here. And there was a laundry list from then. So it was sent to Mr. Ramundi, it was sent to Dr. Kim Smith as well. I was pulled into it when I made an inquiry about it. My personal, it's not that we have a quality control person. Aramark has their own quality control director, and that person is managed by our food service person. So if our food service person, the food service person is not being acknowledged or respected,
So
there's a bigger issue.
Can you
So-
speak to that, Mr. Ramondi?
Sure. So I think a lot of this conversation is more beneficial not in the public forum, only because it could hinder the district from attracting future vendors. But we are planning on putting together a presentation looking at all different options. And some of these violations are more paperwork, managerial, procedural, and there's some other issues. But I don't think in the public setting it'd be beneficial. We can still give the answers, but we also
Well,
don't
it's
want,
more
you know.
historical to understand
So
why.
historical, I'll have to get back to you on that.
Why decisions were made, things change. So I'm not saying it's in stone, but you guys are handling an issue now, right? So it would be informational for us to understand why things change and why things don't work. So,
I just wanted to say, when this was brought to my attention, we had a meeting in May. Trustee Mitchell was on that meeting, as well as, I guess, the executive from Aramark, the new person that was assigned, Mr. Ramundi, and myself. At that time, we went over the many issues, the conflict within the team working together, and we were assured that there was going to be some changes. When this was brought to my attention, again, by Mr. Mitchell, I called the meeting. We have a meeting Thursday afternoon to understand exactly what's going on with food services. When I received the picture of the food at the Dole Center, I was concerned. But again, we'll have a meeting on Thursday, and we will report back to Trustee Mitchell.
Thank you.
thank you.
Well, the board.
The meeting here.
Yeah, okay.
He knows, we need to understand what's going on.
I'm going to get feedback from you.
Okay, well, he can report back to the board then. Thank you.
I have one more question. So if we start feeding the children ourselves, is that still going to be federal funding, or are we going to have to pay for that ourselves?
That's a good question. It's been a very long time since we've gone self-op. I want to make sure I give you the accurate information, and I can get back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Mitchell. Trustee White? No, they're working in the schools, different school buildings, and of course, our custodians are working real hard. We had to switch Benjamin Turner over to the Grimes building that would have been empty this summer, but they went to Grimes because there was no air condition at Benjamin Turner. So now they had to do a lot of switching up. But everything is good. Kids seem happy. So let's play it from here.
Thank you, Trustee White. We didn't meet on the Education Committee, but my curiosity is about Benjamin Turner and the air conditioning at Benjamin Turner.
It just went down.
So there are two condenser pumps at Benjamin Turner. One is very large, it does the lion's share, then there's a secondary pump. The primary pump went down, at this point beyond repair. So the secondary pump kicked in. But the secondary pump can only handle between 30 and 40% of that building. The primary pump is on back order from the actual manufacturer. So we're waiting for that to be built. So what we did was we moved the largest program to a building that did have AC. And we're working on measures to close off dampers, repipe and rehose certain circulatory systems in the smaller pump to divert air to one section of the building for the remaining program that's in there.
Right.
So yeah, we're doing our best.
Okay, so you don't have anything on your committee, right?
No, I have to meet with Dr.
Okay. I don't
We will
have.
be meeting with Dr. Doggett for the Education Committee and the superintendent for the Greenhouse Initiative going forward.
I don't have any committee report. However, I spoke to Mr. Campbell and Jose about some issues that we had regarding payroll. So I just told them that I would reach out to them so they can let the public know.
Are you kidding me?
So, Mr. Campbell, would you explain what the issues are so we can
They're doing a good job finding out stuff.
hear it
Swing
with the steps?
singer, what's his name?
So part of the concern was that with, specifically with the CSEA members, some of the individuals had to go back certain steps.
Yeah.
And this was just based on a mistake within the system where it automatically rolls them up every year. This happens to most people, but within their contract, they have to remain on a certain step for a number, I believe for 10 years before they can go from step 7 to step 8. And then they have to remain at step 9 for a total of 20 years before they can go to step 10. So there were some individuals that it automatically put them to that next step without them having the amount of years of service within the district. So we're looking at that, reviewing it with Jose, and we are correcting that. And so we're just notifying those employees.
So there was a glitch in the system and you're correcting it, correct?
Correct. It's an automatic rollover, but now there's people, yeah, so there is 1,700 employees and there was one person at that time. So we have other people that are now in there, so we are able to look at it more closely.
So
Madam-
there were no alerts, I guess, there were no alerts to the system that alerted that there were problems with the payroll or with the employees?
No,
Oh,
so,
hold on, before you answer that question, Madam President, can we, may I ask that we defer this and ask Noel if he can come to executive session so he can explain some of these issues that we're having, so we can mitigate them?
That'll be fine, no problem.
so I just want to clarify one quick thing. So it was picked up because we were checking this year. In the summer, we were checking to make sure everything was done properly, and that's when it was picked up that this issue occurred. So we rectified it. I did speak with the CSEA, and we're looking across the board at every single salary to make sure it was done properly in the past. And if it wasn't, we're going to work one by one to rectify it.
All right, thank you. That's it for
Thank you.
committee reports. Dr. Smith took care of old business. Okay, so we're going to move on to the
Okay,
resolution?
who's on? Yes.
Thank you.
So we're going to move on to our resolutions. Can I have a motion for 5.1, approval to establish the title payroll and benefit manager?
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 5.2, Human Resources 108A, certified?
Motion.
Second.
Question?
Questions, concerns, discussions?
Question. Did we correct the date on one of the personnel items? Because it's not updated in the board docs.
It's in the as it read, as it should read at the very bottom.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 5.3, approval of Human Resources Resolution, non-certified?
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 6.1, authorization to hire staff for the No Place for Hate District Leadership Team?
Motion. Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. I have a motion for 6.2, authorization to hire staff for the district multi-tiered system of supports team during the summer for the Mount Vernon City School District.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 6.3, authorization to appoint a data protection officer?
Motion. Question.
Questions, concerns, discussions?
So I just want to, it's a comment actually, I just want to say thank you to, for former President Kerwin's idea to have us, give us the ability to ask these questions so that we can have answers and we can say thank you. When I ask a question like, what is a DPO? And is money included as a salary? There is no increase to salary and things like that. That's a question that I needed to know so that I can feel confident in how I vote. So thank you, Rita, board clerk, for responding to all our. You're very smart, Miss Rita. You know all these answers, but thank you so much. I feel much more confident. Thank you.
Thank God for Rita.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 7.1, authorization to accept the Teacher Center of Central Westchester's NYSED grant for the 24-25 school year?
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 8.1, approval of Student Services Pupil Personnel Services Memorandum Number 2, dated July 16, 2024?
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. I have a motion for 8.2, approval to hire staff for the 2024 Summer Smart Scholars Program at Mount Vernon STEAM Academy.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 8.3, authorization to amend the hiring of staff to conduct the 2024-2025 Adult Education Program, approved May 23rd, 2024 at the special meeting?
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose?
Abstain.
Abstain? Okay. Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 8.4, approval for additional summer work for Ms. Michelle McKinney Bromley, Director of Pupil Personnel Services?
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor? Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 8.5, authorization to amend Student Services Pupil Personnel Memo Number 18, tab 8.24, dated May 23rd, 2024?
Motion.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor? Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 8.6, approval to amend Student Services Pupil Personnel Services Memo Number 01, tab 8.23, dated July 2nd, 2024, at the regular meeting?
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor? Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 9.1, authorization for Savin Engineers to provide construction management services?
Motion.
Need a second? Questions, concerns, discussions?
One question. Can we expect a up-to-date report on where we stand with 2020 bond dollars and cents that are left, and what we have slated to do with that money, if any? And do we have a timeline when we should expect that? Can we do it again?
No, I heard you.
All right, cool.
Noel was giving me instructions on how to use this. But, so yes, that's being worked on right now. Actually, the person from Savin is here. They're wrapping that up, but I can give an estimate of where it'll end next month.
So that we can visualize would be great, so we can share with the people.
Sure, that's no problem. Thank you.
8 years in.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 9.2, authorization to approve an addendum to CMA Financial Advisors Service Agreement?
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 9.3, approve the settlement tax proceedings for Heridercorn Monroe and Deborah Heridercorn Goldman?
Motion.
Motion.
Okay. Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 9.4, authorization to declare computer network equipment unusable and obsolete for the purpose of discard?
Motion.
Questions, concerns, discussions?
One question: will we get a breakdown of what money we were able to make off of any of these devices? Am I on the right?
Yes, once that's said, we will have a breakdown.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 10.1, authorize an amended contract agreement between the Mount Vernon City School District and Jamal Doggett effective July 1st, 2024?
Motion. Second.
Who second? Who was second? Oh, okay. Questions, concerns, discussions? All it,
Is there? I'm just following. Even though I understand that this is this is an extension of the contract, which I understand. So a lot of times in these situations, the dollars and salary won't be in there. But can we have it so that at least it's keyed into the text part so that the public can see it? Even because if it's historical salary, we're just moving forward. That's cool. But can we just have something in it for transparency's sake?
We discuss in exec.
We'll discuss it in exec.
Say again.
We can discuss it in exec.
Thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 10.2, authorize an employment agreement between the Mount Vernon City School District and Sheila Solomon effective July 1st, 2024?
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion, 11.1, to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing pending litigation, the financial history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation, and to receive legal advice on a pending matter? I need a motion?
Second. Motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Very next.
Will we be back? There's no motion after exec, so we will not be back after executive session. Thank you.